there's legit concerns about Michael Penix, and I see that half of the Falcons fan base is starting to realize that, or they always realize that and finally saying something. One of my pet peeves about Michael Penix is his availability. There's nothing about his ability to actually play quarterback is a question. I think he's a very talented guy. I think he could be one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and the only problem about that is, like, look, he has to be available. He has to be able to play. All the injuries he's had, it is something to really think about. And if people are not thinking about that to a certain degree, it's just that you're a homer for Michael Penix. And that's okay. It's okay to want to root for your guy, because he is our guy. He's our quarterback. And at the end of the day, that you want him to be that top elite guy under center. Now, with Kevin Stefanski and Ian Cunningham here, they're not tied to Michael Penix. I mean, that's one thing we have to understand. They're not tied to Michael Penix. If they decide to move on from him or bring in a legit competition to him, that is within their right, and I think that will make logical sense. They didn't draft him. So I always look at it like this. From the standpoint of a new regime coming in, I feel that I should let these guys cook. Let them guys do what they want to do. I know some things may not be popular, and I know some things that are going to be concrete. Like, I know that they're not going to touch Bijan. They're not going to touch some guys on the offensive line. Jalen Walker, I don't think they're going to move him. Jesse Bates, I think that's another guy that's going to be here. AJ Terrell, yes. Now, we already got confirmed reports. Now, I don't know if the report will confirm. I don't want to say that. We have reports that Caden Ellis might be hitting the free agency. And like I said, I can see that. I believe that they can find the same amount of talent at a lesser cost. And we also have to think about that when it comes to other players, like the quarterback position, whether it be free agency, whether it be through the draft. Kirk Cousins wasn't going to be that guy to be sitting on our roster at $30 plus, $60 plus million of cap space. No, he's going to have to move on, and whether we bring Joe Flacco in, whether we bring another quarterback in, or we draft somebody, that's just the way it's going to roll. Now, I saw somewhere, and it's probably on my shorts or whatever, shout out to this person, said we need to go pick up Dylan Gabriel. I would pick him up just for him to be for depth. Definitely would not have him in to play football on the field, because I've seen what he's done, and I don't think it's going to be any better than what we saw already. So, yeah, bring him in, but, yeah, he's going to be on the bench. There's no other way around that, because I think we need at least two quarterbacks. And I don't think Dylan Gabriel is available, but let's just say, for instance, you bring somebody of that type in, yeah, you're definitely going to just have him as a third stringer. He's not going to be the guy to start. But at the end of the day, we need another quarterback. Regardless if Michael Penix is going to be the guy or not, you need somebody there. And I preferably want somebody in that's going to give Michael Penix some form of competition. The job should not be handed to him, especially when you're not the guy that was drafted by this regime. They need to see everything up front. They're going to bring a guy that they probably feel more comfortable with. They're probably going to bring a guy in that they feel that fit their scheme a little bit better, and let the chips fall where they may. If you win the job, cool. If not, hey, you already got an ACL injury and probably not going to be playing at full strength and probably till October anyway. So let's shrug our shoulders on that. Like, it is what it is. So, like I said, whether it be a veteran, somebody in the draft, which I go back and forth with that. I'm not sure if we're going to see somebody in the draft get picked up at quarterback for the Falcons. I don't see it unless if there's like somebody you don't want to pass up on. Like I said, like a lot of people look at Carson Beck, and I'm just saying this right now. A lot of people looking at Carson Beck maybe be a late round draft pick. I'm not gonna lie. If Carson Beck around 6th round, or one of them later picks that we got out of the 5 we do have, and he's there, I'm not against picking him up just to see what he got. I mean, what do you got to lose? I mean, I know we need a cornerback. I know we need a defensive tackle. We may need a wide receiver as well. I do believe at least 1 or 2 of those you can get in free agency. And with that being said, that opens up a draft slot for somebody of that caliber. Like I don't know what quarterback is going to be there, and I heard the wide receiver class is deep, so you want to bring somebody in through the draft. Hey, that won't hurt. But as far as quarterback goes, I'm back and forth. I'm up in the air with this. Like 1 minute I'm like Flacco, next minute I'm like bring somebody in, do the draft. Next minute I'm like, yo, wait to 2027. But I just don't think that the Michael Penix thing is necessarily concrete, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be concrete. We should be sitting here like, all right, this guy is still coming off an ACL injury. He's rehabbing. He's doing his best to get back at full strength. But as a fan, I also have to understand that the coaching staff that came in, they may feel a little bit different about that. And that's well within their right. I mean, I don't think they should be forced to take a player and have him play when you have question marks. Like, for instance, there's some players you don't have questions on. Those guys are going to be coming in. I mean, even when Raheem Morris came in, he knew that Bijan Robinson and Drake London was going to be the guys that's going to be playing. There was no discussion about moving them anywhere. And same thing with Kevin Stefanski. When we came in, there may be some discussions about Jeff Ulbrich, the coach. He's not a player, but there may be some questions about that. But there was no denying that it would probably benefit him the best to keep Ulbrich around. And I'm pretty sure they're working just fine together. I'm almost certain of that. So it's just some things that are untouchable. But when you have 3 ACL injuries, 2 on one leg, 1 on the other, and you had a collarbone injury, you have all these other injuries that you had, it would be wise, and it would be good coaching to sit back and wait and evaluate that situation and just say, hey, we're just gonna go all in with Penix, we're good to go. That's not really smart. I don't care how much you like Michael Penix, that's just not smart at all. So, but I do believe, like, if this guy can get back up on his feet, I think he'll be fine. He'll be able to sling the ball around and be one of these top quarterbacks, even though you're gonna cringe every time he gets hit. Like, what's gonna happen to him? He's gonna be okay. I think if he can stay upright and nobody touches him, that dude could throw for 4,000 or 5,000 yards. I truly believe that. You get him, Kyle Pitts just been re-signed, Drake London's on the outside, Bijan Robinson's there too. You get another receiver, you might have something there. You might have something to where, all right, we could, be in that quarterback range where he throws for 4,200, 4,500, 4,700 yards. I do believe that out of Michael Penix, but you can't do that on one leg, man. You can't do it on one leg. I don't care who you are. You can't do it on one leg. Sorry. But, yeah, at the end of the day, I think they're going to look at another quarterback. The truth about Michael Penix is, hey, that's just the world we live in. We're going to be in a situation where we're probably looking at somebody else. We'll also be looking at a situation where that person could possibly beat Michael Penix out. I mean, it's going to be really difficult, even if you get Flacco or you get another veteran, or if you draft a quarterback in the first 4 or 5 games, we're 4-1, 5-1, 6-0, 4-0, 5-0. It's going to be real hard to go back to Michael Penix in that situation. Even if we're 3-2, you're still going to scratch your head. If you're 3-3, you're going to be scratching your head. It's like, do we really go back? The only way you really go back to Michael Penix in a situation like that, we start 1-5. But that's just my take. You guys let me know what you think. I'm going to get up out of here. It is raining here in the city of Atlanta, man. It is raining, so I'm going to probably sit back and take a little more of a rest. And still taking stuff off my truck, so I ain't going nowhere no time soon. This is a good time to relax, right? On the job, getting paid, it is what it is. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all take it easy. Y'all be blessed. Peace.